Okay, so I just have to share this verse because all my experiences that I'm going through in these end times, as far as religion goes, this is from Psalm 64 and 8. This this has to do with the Babylonians, right? And their many tongues or whatever tongues they come up with. It says here that their own tongues. See that this is many translations. It says here that I don't know if you can see it. Their own tongues, meaning their own languages, will ruin them. Their Babylonian languages and whatever they come up with. And all who see them, those that are around them that see them, will shake their heads in scorn. So I guess when they see them, they're gonna recognize them, or some of them are gonna recognize them, and they're gonna shake their heads in scorn, like, man, what you are doing and have done is like nobody wants to be around you anymore. Look, we could read the King James version, right? For me, it's standing the test of time. The King James version. It says, "So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves." Right. Everything that they're doing is kind of backfiring on them. That's what I'm noticing. Like everything that they do is going against them, and I think things will repeat themselves because they're not supposed to be in control. You see, but they don't want to let go. So they shall make their own tongue, meaning their own language, whatever they got going on now, to fall upon themselves, meaning it's gonna cause them to stumble again. And those that see them, you see that? Those that see them, will flee away. Meaning, those that see these Babylonians and recognize them for who they are or whatnot, or even just see them, maybe it will trigger them and they shall flee away. And that's what I'm seeing right now with their avatars, their clones, and all these little snakes and demons that they left behind as a cuckold to keep control of the planet and keep people in vibrations of fear and oppression and bully tactics. They feed off of that stuff, right? Some of these idiot Anglos. But anyways, it says here that, yeah, they're going to make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. And it's been going on for the longest, and I'm guessing it will continue. And those that see them, that see their offspring, their Nephilims or these Anglos, shape-shifting, or whatever they come up with, basically, if you're around them, either here or who knows, wherever they may be, if you're next to them, you're going to want to flee away. You're not going to want to be around them for the same reasons that they've been doing all this evil and getting away with it, and nobody wants to hold them accountable. And we're in these end times, right? And to my understanding, wasn't Satan given 2,000 years by the Savior once he did his work on the cross in one timeline or whatever? So, to my understanding, I think those 2,000 years are up, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if he accomplished his work or whatnot. I don't even know who's a Satan now, but, whoever is a Satan right now that's, oppressing us, keeping us down, well, he should be bound. He should be bound. Or, actually, not even. Some say we're coming up to Armageddon, right? That's what I read a couple months back. Somebody said we're coming up to Armageddon. And yes, I think Satan has been loosed already, gathering an army for Armageddon. I don't know if that's happened yet. I don't think so, because the seventh trump hasn't blown. The seventh trump hasn't blown. The seventh seal hasn't been released, where we get our spirit bodies, we're away in glory and get out of here. I'm guessing it's going to happen at some point. I know everybody's trying to, fix themselves up, reconcile themselves with one another, but, there's too much interference coming from entities that I believe should just sit back and mind their own business and let the original Most High God and Maker, Life Giver, his anointed, let him do the work, you see? Let the first and the last and his little crew do what they need to do. I think some of you are just being too much. Okay, but anyways, this is pretty interesting. It says that they will be destroyed by their own words. This is a contemporary English version. Destroyed by their own words. Words are expressions. And some say we are words. We are expressions. That's kind of scary. But I know they're editing the Bible. So they're always doing shit. You see, even now they're making stuff to read because they're trying to destroy some of the patriarchs and matriarchs. But, they're just trying to accuse, I guess. That's what they do. But, whatever lies are being spread, whatever deceptions, those that are causing this, they think they're getting away with something in an ill-gotten manner. It's going to come back to bite them in the ass until they learn how to get right or get destroyed. There's different translations that say some will be destroyed by their own words, meaning their own expressions, emanations. And everyone who sees them will tremble with fear. So it's saying that, I don't know, maybe some of these rebels will be, I don't know, ruined by their own creations. It's a possibility, but no, it don't work like that. I wouldn't came here for that. I know there's like some say we have something, they're trying to encode certain things in us and erase certain memories and stuff like that. They want to sacrifice truth, and but you cannot afford to sacrifice truth and righteousness. You got to keep the truth. Because you're committing suicide either way. If you're not righteous and you think you can get rid of the truth and implement your own false love, you're kidding yourself. It don't work like that. So anyways, they will be made to stumble. Their own tongues, right? Their own languages, whatever they come up with, work against them. And all who see them will shake their head. This talking about language means, nationalities, tongues. Who knows what definition that has? It could mean expressions, maybe tongues, any words, right? Whatever emanates from the tongue. I'm saying languages. I'm not sure. Because if it's an expression, if it's like a language or a nation, I'm thinking nations, right? Because they fund the nations, they create nations. So this could probably mean that so vast, guys. I don't even know where to begin. It says that they make their own tongue, their own new nation that they know about to fall upon themselves. So even that's cursed. And those that see them and recognize them will flee away. So they're being undone by their own works, basically, right? This is what this is saying. And those that recognize the wicked, like the Edomites, the Hamites, the Shemites, all these other creations that come from these ancient order of gods that are not operating in righteousness, and they think they could dab in more darkness than light, or duality instead of more light than darkness, well, they're in trouble. They are in trouble. So whatever they're saying behind our back, slandering us, will bring them to their demise, right? So their own tongues, their own nations, languages will ruin them. All who see them will shake their head. Why? Because no matter how many false anointed ones they're trying to raise up, these anointed ones are going to be the ruin, their own children, their own words, their own expression. That's why it says here, look. They will be destroyed by their own words. For those that don't know words, when you speak somebody to existence, what is it? He's a word, right? An emanation, an expression. Like when you're speaking lyrics and all this and that, if you listen to songs, it's all quoted in there. So they will be destroyed by their own words, and everyone who sees them will tremble with fear. So, yeah, the old order supposedly may be undone by their own creations if they don't operate. But because what they're doing is they're fighting at the higher levels, but they're completely disregarding those at the bottom. So the old order, I'm guessing, there's a curse of pride right now that I believe, it's going around. So what a tragedy it would be, being undone by your own anointed one, or your own child, or your own associate, from whatever nationality, from wherever you may be. And this goes back up to those that have gotten away with it. You see what I'm saying? So they're trying to get away with something. I'm guessing it's the nations. They think we got them. Let's get out of here. Got you. It's a curse of arrogance and pride going around. So I'm guessing at some point, everyone's going to have to go up and come to the table and find out what's what. Because I'm telling you, some of them are aging and they're getting hurt. They're getting damaged in separate realities. Timelines, continuums, omniverses, universes, eternal realm, non-eternal realm, xenoverse, this, that, and the other. That's why it says here words, right? Their own words they're coming up with, their creativity, their expressions, whatever's coming out of their mouth, fawning at the mouth, will ruin them. That's what it is. And that's why they asked Some of us, what if you had 100 years, 200 years, 300 years, this many 100 years to fix a situation, this, that, and the other? Well, maybe it is fixed already. I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. But you can't control and manipulate others' life. Like, I'm only giving you advice. I'm not gonna tell you, force you to do something, create a story for you. I'm not your story writer. You create your own story. You make your own stuff. If you want to leave something here behind, that's good. If you don't want to leave anything behind, that's fine. You see, I don't blame you. It depends how damaged you've been, how this whole experience has been to you. But nobody can harm you without harming themselves. So just understand that. Sorry for the poor quality. It's just that these entities are making it very difficult for me to share anything of good quality as of late. And yeah, they're just trying to mirror and imitate like they always do. So, anyways, I try to step my game up a little bit, even if I gotta, you know, go a little long, as they say. But we'll see. Anyways, I'm out. Shalom.